he has to, other people have to go and beg him. Somebody like El-Rufai, where he is today. Who is the person that marketed this president Tinubu in the north? Was it not the same El-Rufai? Where is his own position? I don't take politicians serious. I always pray for the credible leader to emerge in any position of opposition, that he will think of the masses of Nigeria, more especially the youth, the elderly, and women and children. Take a look at what is happening in the...
It's okay. No, it's okay. Let me explain. It's okay. She off your mic.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Your mic is always on. Let's talk.
All right. Sorry, Abdul, we had to take that, but we're back and we would love to know your take. Please, I want you to please stay on the question, right? I asked about the story of a seeming new romance that seems to be brewing between Obi Kwankwaso, Shea Makinde, and Seraki Dixon, and what you think about that. Opposition in Nigeria, that's our focus, right? And this one, does it speak anything to you? Do you think a potential new opposition can arise from this new coalition? And then what would be the prospects for the Nigerian political scene as we get closer and closer to 2027? We talked about PDP, we talked about ADC, and now we're seeing this. What do you think about this one specifically? That's what I'm asking, and I would love to know your take on that. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Lukman calling from Zamani.
All right, go ahead, Lukman.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, the Salah, what is it called? Is it the meeting which they eat together or whatever is deliberate and is meant to achieve a goal. Yeah, that is to, is for the purpose of alignment and realignment and alliance. One of the mistakes Mr. Peter Obi made last time is that he was not sold to people in the north. I disagree with the idea of, or the opinion of, maybe because he is not of the religion of this and that. No, that's not the reason. 2011, they voted Jonathan against Buhari. That was why Jonathan didn't win the election in the south alone. You understand? So it is good. It's good for opposition, and that's how to do it. I like the approach of Mr. Peter Obi. He's not relying on all this linear approach of we must remain one party, moral. Leave morality out of this. As it is now, Nigeria are thinking about to get this current association called APC out of the power come 2022, and they need credible person or somebody that we can be considered more decent. You understand? So Peter Obi is trying to consolidate on what he achieved in 2023, and one of the reasons why he could not go for 2023 is that he was not really popular in the far north, northeast, northwest. So he has realized that. Then Kwankwaso also went on his own way. Then also affected he gave the ruling party now the opportunity to win there. So if Kwankwaso too, they can reach an agreement to form alliance, then ADC too. I don't know what they are planning if they eventually give Mr. Peter Obi, because I see him as somebody that is not the best, but at least we just need somebody. At least among them, we can pick him. Okay. Alternative to the current person that is there now. So that's it. So it's a good thing for opposition. You understand?
Okay.
That's it. It's a good thing for opposition, and it's a good prospect.
Okay.
Come 2027, we can achieve something. Thank you.
Okay, it's a good prospect. That's what Lukman says this afternoon. What about you? Hello?
Hello, Barista Swat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Excellent Spirit.
All right, welcome.
I greet you, man. You don't reach like 2 weeks now.
Yes.
Anyway, I want to talk about the opposition, and
I'm not just talking because most of the questions that I didn't actually are just rhetorical in nature, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm speaking with you, though not sounding like a spokesperson of any political party. I'm in opposition and a bona fide obedient member and a card-carrying member of ABC as a political party. And just yesterday, we rose from a meeting, even though we were following up with what was happening in Kano. But I want to make it clear to some of those people who are asking this question that one, the real opposition party in Nigeria now is the Obedient. I can tell you for a fact. That is the well-known opposition for now. And those who are even saying that they are...
The last time I checked, Obedient is not a political party.
Come again?
The last time I checked, Obedient is not a political party. We have political parties.
No, I am saying, I am a member of the Obedient movement. In fact, let me even tell you, I am the ward coordinator to this award.
No, I'm not asking you. You don't have to give us that details. I'm saying opposition in Nigeria, non-opposition are ADC. There's nothing like Obedient political party, right?
I know. I am getting to somewhere.
Okay.
Jump into answers. I'm getting to somewhere. Because what I'm trying to explain is that I have a firm knowledge of what is happening in the ADC. That is why I'm bringing the Obedience to the first place. But when you interject like this, then you throw me off balance.
Well, it's because you are going outside of what I'm saying. When you make statements, I need to correct. I have to correct it. Okay.
You are talking about opposition. You are talking about opposition, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm coming from the point of opposition. I'm laying a foundation so that people will not misunderstand obedience, opposition, and Mr. Peter Obi.
But I also have, Mr. Excellent Spirit, I also have the responsibility of correcting some things that are put out. When you say the real opposition is Obedient, it now makes it look as if Obedient is a political party, and it is not. So that's why I had to interject quickly.
No, okay. Maybe there's a misunderstanding here. I said, okay, over 80% of the people who are in the opposition are made of Obedient.
Oh, okay. Go on.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but as it stands now, we are still registering. Even this morning, the date or the closure for another few weeks. Do you understand? People can still register. And I tell you for a fact that even as we are in AGC now, those who are in support of this individual to fly the flag of the AGC are much more than those who are against it. So I was saying, expressing that here, whether they will allow this flag, that one does not arise. Because those who are not where the things are happening. So if you come in to register now, you will now be privy to all the information that is required. So sometimes when they talk, we dismiss some of those rhetorical questions with a wave of hands. Thank you very much.
All right, but you've not answered my question, though. You're talking from your knowledge of the ADC. Well, that's your own knowledge. I mean, you also have other people who feel like the statement was released some time back that it's going to be a free and fair primaries, and whoever wins it, and that's how it ought to be, right? I mean, whoever wins the primaries, may he take the day. Basically, so except of course you have a consensus candidate like some political parties do have during their primaries. They have a consensus, and I feel that also has its own place. But I feel there are people who are eyeing the tickets at different political parties. Like, so for example, the ADC, you have the likes of Amechi, you have the likes of Atiku, you have the likes of Obi who are there. I don't think any poll has been conducted that would empirically say that this is this for setting based on numbers. But we will await to see. I mean, the time is fast running. Very soon, we're going to see a whole lot being unveiled, from those who are contesting the buying of the forms and all the other timetable that has been given or released by INEC. And we're waiting to see. But my question this afternoon goes to you who's listening about opposition, right? The state of opposition in Nigeria is something to be discussed as we edge closer and closer to 2027. Now we're seeing a seeming romance between Kwankwaso, Obi, and the likes, Makinde, Serake Dixon. And I'm saying, what potential does this hold, if it does hold, for you as a Nigerian, and what are the prospects, if any? Is this giving rise to another opposition, or is it going to be part of all the other known oppositions? So that's what I want you to analyze for me. Sometimes some of you call and you deviate. You just want to berate the APC. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you about politics of opposition in Nigeria and what you think, especially with recent developments. So if you can focus, I would really love to know what your take is on that. I see lots of messages. Fortunately, you have messages from there. Let's read that together. Let me take this one. Abeji Day says there's really not going to be an election in 2027. Are you kidding me? He said the recent NCT election has shown what's going to happen. Most persons had their polling station changed to places they can't reach on election day. The system has been captured and overrun by brigandage. But the day of reckoning will come. Nigeria survived Abacha. All right, you're not even answering my question. But let's move on. Any message?
Yes. So I have this message here. All right. Hi, Her Royal, Her Vocal Majesty. Greetings. This is another attempt at galvanizing the opposition, which I think they will get right in 2031. I don't see anything overturning the movement train of APC, but it's good the opposition consolidates themselves. Banky from Wusetu.
All right. Thank you, Banky. This one says, that, as at now, I doubt if there's any alliance that can unseat the ruling party. ADC could have been a reliable opposition party, but it seems what destroyed PDP is gradually coming up in ADC. Now that the ruling party is having 31 governors, only God can help Nigeria. Peter Obi Kwankwaso coming together may not hold water for now. I suggest ADC should give Peter Obi a chance. He alone can give ADC or APC a sleepless night. Any other choice will give the ruling party a run over, says Mr. NSC Dan.
Okay, so I have a message here. Good afternoon, Madam Swat. Talking about a formidable opposition, I think ADC is playing a different type of system that shouldn't be all about protest, because the government in power is ready to keep anybody away to achieve their aim. So far, I think the ADC is making good steps as regards the election. Ben from Gariki.
All right, and this one says, good day, Swat. Obi should be wary of all these coalition. Kwankwaso is only using him as a bargaining chip. Thank you, says Michael, who say too.
Okay, this one says, good afternoon, Swat. We need people that will save us. I think the get-together of Kwankwaso and co might bring a strong opposition, though the gathering is not a new thing in politics. We ate hoping for a better opposition from Hafsat. Sorry.
You want to murder Hafsat's name. Okay, Barrister Swat, good afternoon. Mike from Abuja. He said, Obi Kwankwaso is potent opposition. If this ticket comes through, Tinubu will be out of office by 12 noon. Then they need El-Rufai's backing. Okay. That is your own take there. I take this one also from Israel. Peter Obi is more likely to get the ADC ticket, while Atiku Abubakar is likely to yield to the calls for him not to run. And if he does, Rotimi Amechi could possibly step down for the ADC to have a consensus. Of course, they are not aware, or they are not unaware of the new electoral timetable, which is very unfavorable to the opposition, as parties may not be able to manage their post-primary disputes. Also, prominent figures in the North who knew the winner of the 2023 presidential election but denied it because of the outcome which favored their religion or the region have come to realize that religion does not provide immunity against political persecution and marginalization. They and other members of the opposition know that 2027 is a struggle for their survival. Nasser El-Rufai is still in detention. Not many of them would mortgage their freedom anymore.
Yeah, so I have this one from Eric. Eric says, I think Obi is in a state of confusion, moving from one place to another. His popularity has dropped. Him joining Kwankwaso will not help him. Come 2027, Tinubu has gone far from them. Okay.
That's from who?
Tinubu has gone far from Obi and co.
No, I mean, saying, yeah.
Okay, from Eric.
All right, Eric. Then this one is from, let me see, do we have a name here? My name is Open Secret from Zuba. The alliance between Peter Obi and Kwankwaso is dead on arrival because the growing anti-northern sentiment in the southeast is a big deal. You can't be calling people in the north names and expect a political alliance with them. The southeast need a serious political orientation. That is what Open Secret says. Oludade Abiodun said, good afternoon once again. Some politicians in Nigeria are only desperate, not that they love Nigeria that much. In fact, some of them are now whining and dining with those they claim to be corrupt in the past just because they just want to occupy number one seat in Nigeria. I want to believe that Obi is desperate and is doing everything he can to get to power. Okay.
Yeah, more messages from Osh from Abuja. Good afternoon, Swat and Fortune. My name is Osh from Abuja. Truth to be told, for now, all we can do is speculate until they actually officially declare their intentions to run against the opposition party. One thing is certain, we cannot have a one-party state SWAT. This upcoming election is going to be very interesting indeed. Special greetings.
Okay. And it's a voice note we have here. Let's listen to this one.
Good afternoon, Adadi Orama and Fortune. This is Wise One recording from Apo. What I want to say here is that this man don't really know what he wants, and he's not wishing the girl very good things. Not wishing her well. You know, he's a parent, he's a father, and you're looking for an orphan. So you're praying that the day that your children will get married, they will also marry to people that would not want them to have parents, father figure in their life, you know. It's a wrong one. Another thing is that as a man, you're not supposed to...
Okay, yeah, all right. So that's from earlier on. This is from earlier on. So let's stop it and take this call. All right, sorry about that.
Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon, Barrister Swat.
Good afternoon.
And your colleague in the studio, Fortune.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from Wawalada.
Welcome.
There's not too much analysis and explanation. It was a political coalition of the opposition group that brought APC to power in 2015. It is a same coalition of opposition groups in Nigeria that will outspin this government. No more, no less. They should not cause division among themselves, going and creating different parties. It will not work. They are going to make things easy for this government, for the government. It's for them, for the sake of unity, national interest, to form a strong coalition that will ousting President APC. It's not that it will be governor for your state and see writing for me another party. No, they should all go into one party, adopted party, the rainbow coalition of all opposition groups in Nigeria. That is what we are calling. But if they don't do that, I have workers will not go out on the next general election. I will not even do it my until all opposition groups form one coalition party, a rainbow coalition for the national interest. It's not costing division or any sentiment or any motive. National unity for Nigeria, for advancement of this country. We are the worst of whatever you call it. Nigeria is not the normal Nigeria way. Things have gone worse. Now, with the conflict, international conflict, with the crude oil fluctuation, we are not benefiting from it because of the kind of attitude of our leaders. And there's no action absorbed in our economic system. Every effect of economic downturn, is it stock exchange, it is American currency, it is the fluctuation of oil prices, people are saying like no protection on our leaders. It's a big slap. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Abubakar. Hello.
Good afternoon, Barrister Swat.
Good afternoon.
I'm Olatunji calling from Kubwa.
Welcome, Olatunji.
Okay, I want to talk on the potentials of political parties and concerning the joint party or discussion or dinner for the politicians. I want to remember that this thing is just launched its own political party and other people have their own political parties. So I want to say what happened for APC then when they took over from PDP may not likely to happen now. That mass coalition to form the to come to power because it depends on the person that is playing the game. Tinubu has changed the dimension. And even I think people have shifted from those years politics. This is another years of politics. And I want to say that if I will talk of potential parties that have potential, because, for example, the PDP say they are going to soon their presidency to the South. And if they soon to the South, remember that all state governors in the South, both in the South West, they belong to APC. And each governor, even with his commissioners, they don't have at all. They have at least 100 aides in their camp that even though if it is by giving them money or lobbying them, there is no way for opposition to do that, or even though the perspective of the citizens versus APC. And I want to say the era of a party collide together at the national level and come to power has ended. Because any party that will make way in Nigeria now, I think they should start from the grassroots. For example, the Senate House members that become to ADC, I think they have started bringing issues into political parties, internal rancor, because they have used their own to step on automatically on some potential people to come out under that party. That's another issue. And talk of PDP, and in case all of them sold to the South, so let's remember, the Southwest, they will back up the Tinubu if it is going to the South. And so I don't see their potential at all, because apart from the rancors they are having. So I think a party that I think I can put his hand up is the new party by Sarah Gibson, because that is party. If I would join a political party, I would prefer that party that they should start from grassroots. And they say that it's not possible that they have presidential candidates, but they may have other candidates from the grassroots. A party that will have potential in this country is a party that will start from grassroots. So to change the dimension, new ideology, not all those people. Where is the ideology that the Senate like Abadebe are bringing to ADC that just want to launch its manifesto? So I don't see any potential. Let us just have a party that will start from the grassroots and will change the dimension. I think that's the party. The era of a party colliding and gaining power at the national level has ended.
All right.
That's my own truth.
Thank you, Mr. Tunji. That will be the final call for today. Good afternoon, Swat and Co. Some people are supporting the president for the back door, and we can identify them. We don't have worry. We will succeed. Muhammad Musa. What exactly are you saying, Muhammad? I don't understand that comment though. But thank you to everyone who contributed on the show today. Okay, this one, I don't know if you read it. It says, nice hearing from you today, Swat. My name is Fresh Prince from Usetu. Well, I'm talking about the opposition political parties. For this alignment between Obi and the man from Kano should have happened in the last election, not now, because it's very difficult to get the ADC tickets as it is now. God bless Nigerian Info. Thank you so much. Let me see.
I have one message here, Miss Swat.
Okay.
All right. So, Sariki, Kwankwaso, Makinde, Peter Obi, and Peter Obi are all looking for Plan B to decamp to Sariki's political party. Saraki's political party in the face of disappointment from ADC and PDP. This is from Imaye.
All right. Good afternoon, Swat and Fortune. My name is Ash from Abuja. Truth be told, for me now, all we can do is speculate until they actually officially declare their intentions to run against opposition party. One thing is certain, we cannot have okay, I think you've read this message, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so let's take this one from Emeka from NMPC Towers. There. Good afternoon, Swat. All I know is that Nigerians need the opposition more than they need us, because none of them in that opposition is suffering more than even APC supporters. The last time I checked, I've never seen Atiku, Obi, or Kwankwaso in a queue waiting to buy fuel. They said that Peter Obi is desperate to become Nigeria's president. Then Tinubu, that is not desperate to win his second bid. Why is he busy sharing rights across the country instead of doing the needful? So Tinubu is approaching his last term in office, yet nothing to show for it. Obedient man Emeka sends that in. Last message?
Yes, the last message says it's going to be Obi or somebody, not Obi Kwankwaso, because the U.S. enlistment of the ex-Kano state governor in the terrorism financiers list has watered down any effort towards a joint ticket with him. As for those who are still taking the opposition for granted, you may be saying whatever you want because the masquerade has not been unveiled. You may also be taking them for granted because you believe so much in rigging, like the one that happened in 2023. But whatever you think or you want to do, the people will still vote. Why are you not listening to the Muslim Syrics in the north? Who are lamenting that Tinubu used Muslim tickets to deceive them? One of them has raised allegation that he has bought about 500 billion. He has brought about 500 billion to bribe them for 2027.
Okay,
how many states?
That's an allegation, though. I mean,
how many states can he win in the entire southern Nigeria? Let's watch the message from Jackson.
All right, thank you to everybody. Let's take a break and come back.
With the right information,
The right topic of interest.
and the right conversation.
I heard the Minister for Information, and he was trying to rationalize why the NLC should not go on strike now.
So one of the challenges at Africa, there's a lot of poverty and there's a lot of illiteracy.
Let's talk.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. We will be looking at international stories this afternoon on the exchange. And there are quite interesting developments around the world. And one of such is the fact that the UN has issued new climate warning as El Nino looms, right? The Earth's climate is further out of balance than any other time in recorded history. That's what the UN Weather Agency has warned. I mean, we're seeing rising levels of heat in the country, and you're wondering what is happening. The other day, I learned about this El Nino and El Nina, the concept of the heat and extreme cold weathers and all. So the World Meteorological Organization says that our planet is gaining much more heat energy than it can release, driven by emission of warming gases such as carbon dioxide and so on and so forth. And this record energy imbalance heated the ocean to new heights last year and continued to melt our planet's ice caps. And scientists fear that a natural warming phase called El Nino is expected to begin later this year and could soon bring further heat records. So, what does that entail for our universe, for the Earth? That more heat waves may just be coming upon the Earth. So, when we talk about global warming, we talk about carbon emissions into the atmosphere, the depleting of the ozone layer, and all these things. They are no joke. I mean, because with the weather now, you know that something is absolutely wrong. Once upon a time, it should have started at least raining in Abuja, but I think I can count the number of times that we had a semblance of drizzle and also maybe a real rain that fell just some days, or was it last week or something like that. But the heat just persists. It just keeps persisting and all. I can imagine how much hot it is when you go further north, and then in other countries too that are having to go through the same situation. Now, in response to this report that the world is going to experience, scientists say that a natural warming phase called El Nino is expected to begin later this year. In response to this, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres reiterated his call for countries to move away from fossil fuels to renewable energy to deliver climate security, energy security, and national security. So that's it. I mean, security in all phases is very necessary, because as much as we're talking about the security of human lives, food security, we're also looking at environmental security. And that is all hinged on activities that human beings carry out. And we can't talk about this enough because we are all suffering the effect. We don't have any other place to move to. It's a different thing that I say, I don't want to live on planet Earth. I want to go and live in Mars or Jupiter, Every person lives on planet Earth. And somehow, as much as the impact will be felt more in some places of the world, but everybody in one way or the other is suffering adverse effect of some of these weather conditions, right? For me, I see that in extreme weather conditions, like when recently in the United States, it was reported how the snow and the blizzards and all of that really gave people a tough time. In fact, some people died as a result of that. And then, in some parts, like we in Nigeria and so many other places like India and the likes of them, these heat waves that are coming. I mean, I don't know, for those of you who have this app on your phone that keeps giving you or intimating you about the weather, I keep seeing every day, hey, UV rays are going to come out. Be careful, don't go out. The heat waves and so on and so forth. And that's the reality that we're facing now as the people, that the release of or emission of dangerous substances into the atmosphere, or carbon dioxide and all, is really doing a lot of damage than many of us would know. We might not see it physically happening or all the cracks happening, but we begin to feel it. We begin to see it. We begin to experience it in our everyday living. Now, once upon a time, once it's getting to this time of the year, the rain should have started falling by now. People should have started going to their farms, but we're still looking for rain. We're still asking what exactly is happening. While in some parts of the country, they're experiencing rainfalls that is amounting to floods and subsuming or consuming houses and people losing on a whole lot. So it says that Planet Earth is being pushed beyond its limit. Every key climate indicator is flashing red. That's what the UN Secretary General warned. He warned in a typically punchy video address. The last 11 years were the Earth's 11 warmest years, a record stretching back to 1850, the World Meteorological Organization says. So in the last 11 years, it said that these are the warmest years we're experiencing. When you take it back to some years back, it was never so. And in 2026, global average air temperatures were about 1.43 centigrade above those of pre-industrial times, before humans started burning large amounts of fossil fuels. A temporary cooling from the natural La Nina weather pattern meant that 2025 was not quite as hot as 2024, which was boosted by opposite El Nino phase. Okay, so we have the La Nina, which is the one that speaks about maybe not so much heat upon the earth, but better weather condition. And then you also have the El Nino, which ushers in the hot temperature and all. But last year was still one of the 3 warmest years since records began. Many scientists now believe that warming is accelerating, although they say temperatures are broadly within the range of long-term prediction. And the WMO points to a wealth of other evidence showing that the climate is changing faster than we ever have seen before. So take that information and do what you will with it. As we move on to the next story, and this time around, it is Donald Trump that says he's postponing power plant strikes after the U.S. and Iran have or hold a talk. But Tehran denies that talk ever took place. Remember, at some point in time, Iran was warning the U.S. against carrying out the threat to strike their power plants. Said, do not doubt we will do this. Do not doubt we will do this. That's what Iran was warning U.S. against carrying their threat. Okay, so first of all, it was Iran that warned that it will strike electrical plants across the Middle East if U.S. President Donald Trump follows through on his threat to bomb power station in the Islamic Republic and threaten to mine the entire Persian Gulf if invaded. The threat by Tehran put at risk both electrical supplies and water in the Gulf Arab states, particularly as the desert nations commingle their power stations with desalination plants crucial for supplying drinking water. Following the threat, Iran's semi-official Fars news agency published a list of such facilities, including the UAE nuclear power plant. Over the weekend, Iran launched missiles targeting Dimona in Israel, near a facility key to its long-suspected atomic weapon program. And the Israeli facility wasn't damaged in the barrage. Israel launched new attacks Monday on Iranian capital, saying that it had begun a wide scale of strikes on infrastructure targets in Tehran without immediately elaborating. And so coming to the story of the UN, rumored to have had a talk with Iran, which of course Iran is denying. Donald Trump says the U.S. and Iran have held talks on the complete and total resolution of hostilities in the Middle East. And he says that as a result of the talks, he has postponed threatened strikes on Iranian power plants, oil and gas prices. And they're speculating that this might actually make us see the prices falling immediately. However, Iran's foreign ministry denied such talks have taken place, according to the BBC's U.S. partner, CBS, okay? And there are a couple of things that Tehran is alleged to have said, because they are denying that they had any talk with the U.S. Iran's foreign ministry issued a statement saying that we deny what U.S. President Donald Trump said regarding negotiation taking place between Tehran and Israel and the U.S., okay? We deny what U.S. President Donald Trump said regarding negotiation taking place between the United States of America and Islamic Republic of Iran, quoted by CBS News, the BBC's U.S. partner. The foreign ministry adds that the Islamic Republic of Iran adheres to its position, rejecting any type of negotiation before achieving Iran's goal from the war. So that's it. I mean, who do we believe right now? Okay. However, on Saturday night, Trump had given Iran a 48-hour deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, or he said the U.S. would obliterate Iranian power plants. Okay, Trump's latest message is perhaps his most conciliatory since the war began, but it leaves significant unanswered question. Okay, and as Iranian news agency quotes an unnamed source saying there have been no talks between Tehran and Trump. Earlier, the UK's Keir Starmer, that is the UK Prime Minister, and Trump agreed that reopening the Strait of Hormuz is essential to resume global shipping during a call late on Sunday, according to Downing Street. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, says it expects to face several more weeks of fighting against Iran and Hezbollah in Lebanon. So, this war thing, yeah. So now I went to buy fuel and it was 1,400 naira. You know, it was 1,400 naira. Who knows what the next coming days, would imply. So this war, if anyone is in his right senses, I mean, I feel we just need to come to that truce between these two countries, or these three countries that are warring against each other, because it's not doing anybody any harm. Now imagine if Iran were to carry out a threat of desecrating all those electrical supplies and water supplies in the Middle East. Then what happens? People will be thrown in darkness. People will be thrown into, some sort of panic because there'll be no water supplies and all. I mean, look at what happened to the power plant in Qatar when Iran decided to. I mean, if they cannot get U.S. targets or whatever it is, then they now would consider bombing all those countries that are perceived to be allies to the U.S. and also the U.S. Base wherever they are located. And the madness continues until a whole lot goes really wrong with the world. Humanity is lost, and unimaginable conditions arising as a result of this war. Really, it's not just financial implications or cost when it comes to war, but also the cost on humans, the human angle of it, and that is what is most important. So sometimes it's good that this ego thing is set aside and you consider humanity, because sometimes when you go procuring war and humans are not placed in the middle of it or as a factor, then it becomes quite dangerous, and that's what we're seeing unfolding. Now, somewhere in Africa, Benin's 2026 presidential campaign hasn't even started, but there's already a clear favorite, and that's the ruling coalition candidate, Romuald Wadgani. That is reported by africanews.en. The 49-year-old, who served as finance minister for the last 10 years, is President Patrice Talon's designated successor. With the main opposition candidate barred from running, Wadgani is heavily favored to win next month's race for the highest office. At an event in Cotonou on Saturday, he laid out his platform before a crowd of supporters. He highlighted his plans to tackle extreme poverty and shore up the country's security, vowing to do the job with integrity, courage, and perseverance. Wadgani is also unveiled his campaign slogan, "Going Further Together." Talon is stepping down after 2 terms in office. He's presided over strong economic growth and efforts to modernize the West African nation, but his critics say it's been at the expense of democratic process, accusing him of restricting political opposition and curtailing basic freedoms. And these are always the stories coming from the African climb. But it's also a relief to see that at least there are some countries like Nigeria, that are observing this democratic what their democracy says. I mean, if it is a term of 4 years for 2 terms, then just go at it and leave, right? I mean, so that's what's portending in Benin Republic, but also the human rights abuses and also the stifling of opposition, I think, is a story that we will continue to talk about and keep finding ways in Africa to ensure that opposition is allowed as a vital part of any democracy. Democracy cannot thrive without opposition, and that's just the truth around it, okay? So, yeah, we'll leave it at that as we open up the lines to begin to hear your own take on any of this international story, the war being procured and the alleged talks between the U.S. and Iran's denial, and then coming back to Africa to see what is actually going down too. So you can call in. Let's know what your take is on some of this world or global happenings. You can call on 0 08095974869. We also talked about very adverse weather condition due to the setting in of El Nino, which means that the earth is going to be much warmer than we've ever experienced it before, and that is attributed to human activities, release of fossil fuels into the atmosphere, which is not helping us. But here we are. All right. The numbers are there. You can call, and let's have you take before the end of the show. OGB1 said, Swat, there will be no rain nor dew accepted by my word. I don't lock heaven. Change your name to Elisha now. Is it Elijah? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Barrister Swat.
Yes.
This is Godwin Abo, good man in Abuja.
All right.
Yes, on the war between Iran and America, I think this war is long overdue. It's taking us to a very terrible...
Uh-oh. Godwin, you can call us back, please. Hello?
Hello, Barrister Swat and Fortune.
Yes, good afternoon.
Walker calling from Wagula. They have said all. They should forget about airborne messaging. They should consider humanity. This is a war that affects the soul of the whole entire world. They should forget about the military powers, military power, strength. They are destroying civilization. They are destroying infrastructure. They are disrupting global peace. They are causing tension. They're causing a lot of negativity. Yesterday, I was watching international media when we saw the bombing of some bridges inside Lebanon. The bridges that connect north and southern Lebanon was blown up by Israeli soldiers. So there is no mankind. They are causing more refugees, internally displaced people all over the world. People are migrating, leaving Tel Aviv. People are leaving Iran. People are not at longer at ease in the Middle East. So what is the answer? It's just like the way you say it is global madness. I don't know. It's only about prayer. Even the late clergyman, the T.V. Joshua, have said before he died that they should Israel should direct the conflict between Israel and Iran will cause third world war, and there will not be winner. Mankind will be loser. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Indeed, mankind would be the one that will lose out if this does not stop anytime soon. We can't keep going on and on. What people have put in sweat and blood to build and bring about ease for humanity. Some people, as a result of momentary, ego, bouts of ego, what do you call that now? You just want to prove that you are better or you are superior or something. Look, this grounds needs to be solved, truly. And we've gotten to that age where you cannot say, no, how does it affect us in Nigeria? You can see. Go to your filling stations, you will see what is happening. I bought fuel at 1.4. And if this madness continues, then we will buy fuel very soon at 2,000 naira. And how many people will survive? How many people can survive? Many people cannot even go to work now. Because everything is just, it has a bridge effect. So whether it's happening in Iran or in the farthest part of the world, nobody wants war. It's not beneficial in any way. I don't see any advantage whatsoever. It's just a show of ego of some men who are somewhere seated comfortably, not being affected by what is happening in the world, and putting people out there to die and to also risk, their lives and all. So, yeah. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Lukman from Zamani.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, the war is a needless war. From the beginning, it's a war of ego. We want to show that we are in power. Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, they just want to show, that's it. They have too much money. Not because they don't think they should spend on people who need it, but because they just enjoy war. Because I never pray for this current war. I was afraid. when Donald Trump was threatening, when he started moving all this the American warship to that place, I knew something happened. And he's someone that he always, act as if he is the deputy to God. When he says something, he wants to make sure he does it. And America is a country that God has favored. They have the military capability. So now he has created the problem. The problem is not affecting only America, but the whole world, especially third world countries and Nigeria. That even if nobody's found any knockout anywhere, Nigerian government, who are not even ready to do anything before, they are not responsible enough. They want to capitalize on. It was on morning when landed the bomb that Dangote increased his fuel here on Saturday. It was on Saturday morning, and in the evening he has increased it. They have not even decided the price of international crude oil. So it is not something. I just pray that it ends. I just want to hear good news that Donald Trump or even the revolutionary in Iran, they want to resolve it. They should just lower their ego. That's just so that they can save lives and save the global economy. At the end. So that's my take.
All right. Thank you, Lukman. Indeed, solid points there. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Yes.
Good afternoon. It's Minister calling from Osokoro.
Oh, Minister, good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Thank you, my sister.
Yes, sir.
This whole thing, just like you probably see, it's just working this Trump. This Trump, sometimes even the Americans are regretting voting for him. This guy, he initiated this war against the advice of his own security expert. All these things that has been happening now, the problem with the Strait of Hormuz, the intractability of the war fighting against Iran, they have already told him, the CIA have told him, Tulsi Gabbard, the head of intelligence, has said it in Congress, that fighting Iran is going to be a very intractable war. It's going to be a very difficult war. All these presidents, they have known it before. But because you have a very unstable person that doesn't even understand what he's doing, he decided to go against the advice of his own security experts. They have told him, all these things I've said it before, that if you go into a war with Iran, these certain things will happen. But because there are some folks in it, people like the Secretary of War, Hexet, people like Senator Ted Cruz, all these people, they're the ones that are pushing him towards all these things. And all their reasons are for religious reasons, So it's very unfortunate that anything that happens, and it's affecting us just like you said. It's affecting everywhere. Because the Iranians, they know that there's no way they can survive against Israel and America, and they decided to use the Strait of Hormuz so that they can destabilize everywhere. It's very unfortunate, really. It's very, very unfortunate, I'm telling you. This is a needless, costly war that's costing a lot of, just because of Donald Trump. We pray to God that it comes to an end. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mina Sarah. Hello.
Hello, Swat. Good afternoon. My name is Burfrey calling from Mabuchi at the moment.
All right.
The war happening in Iran is an issue of ego and intimidation. It's unfortunate that American is having this kind of a president who moves around at will to do things according to what he wishes. He doesn't take it to the legislature, nothing. He just sits down and does the way he feels. And it's not because God has given them this power, as somebody said. Should any person just stand up based on perception and say U.S., I can say that USA is having what is it called, a dynamite or what does he even call it, that he wants to blow the whole world, and we suddenly stand up and start blowing people. It's not good, it's unfair. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate. Let's take this one quickly before we pause a bit. Hello? Why are the phone lines just breaking? Okay. Let me quickly read through some of these messages here. So I think the world should thank Israel and U.S. Indeed, they were proactive in their approach towards Iran. I'm sure without this attack, Iran is ready to produce nuclear weapons and give to Hamas or Hezbollah to test in Israel. Look at how they have mass weapons on the ground. Nobody should entertain extremism or Nigeria. On Nigeria, it's irritating and insulting. Why should Iran and Israel war affect us? It doesn't tally. We have crude and we have a refinery. Nobody should be deceived. It's purely punishment from Nigerian government and its leadership. OGB, I don't think so. We still import fuel, right? We still import fuel, don't we? And we still are a part of OPEC, right? So somehow it affects us. There's no way you are completely absolved from the effect of this. I don't think, because go around, see what is happening in the UK, see what is happening in the US, everywhere. This thing is telling on them. So is it their government also punishing them? So somehow when you study this international politics, you know that there is a string that connects each and every one of us, whether overtly or covertly. These things, they do affect us. We could be a little more proactive, but then it is what it is, and this is where we are. And honestly, about the nuclear thing, that's a conversation for another day. But then, let's see, this one says, good afternoon once again. Let Donald Trump and his cohort consider humanity, and also Iranian people should give peace a chance, says Oludade Abiodun. Let me take on this voice note. Oh, okay, we have to pause quickly for this.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.